I'm gonna basically test the audio podcast again, the audio for it. Still trying to get the audio for the podcast and the audio for the video streaming to kind of be in sync. I should be able to get that done soon, but right now I'm not able to get that done properly. Okay, and we're back. And so far, we're gonna just go over the a few of the notes I basically talk about. Getting an email newsletter set up. So, what is an email newsletter? Email newsletter is pretty much something that you use to build an audience. This audience is usually people who you've kind of had leads through some source. If you don't have a source, coming from some lead sources, and you can also start with using a like your friends, your family, your Instagram channel. You can start asking people, that you want to start, you're working on a product and you're trying to work on categorizing or calibrating this kind of product so that way it will attract people who might want to purchase it, and you want to find feedback with it. It's not really like that much far from the truth. It's actually what I'm looking to do. It's like for instance, I'm running on a newsletter because I don't really have an idea on exactly what is necessary, but I do feel that there is information that people need. So finding information that people will be willing to listen to every week, for a half an hour or so, is the product that I'm actually serving. You get it? So, and for instance, if you're going to go ahead and you want to work on, maybe collaborating with somebody else, you can have that person also provide their services, and they might have a following too, and then you guys can work together on that. There's a few podcasters online right now that's I actually should take a minute and just go ahead and podcasts. Yeah. So right now, I just went ahead. I just did a Google search for the best podcast of 2019 so far, and the top ones that are coming up are Headlong, Running from Cops, Topic of on Pineapple Street, Lost Notes, Season 2, KCRW, Against the Rules, Pushkin Industries, The Big One, KPCC, 10 Things That Scare Me, that's WNYC, The Dropout, ABC, The Last Days of August, Audible Originals, and Bundyville, Season 2, Oregon Public Broadcasting, and Long Reads. So I don't know how great these are. I actually don't know any of these. There is a second version of this that's provided by something called Vulture Blackout, which is great, but that one doesn't really count as a podcast. That's more like a full length dramatization that's done, very, very well with Rami Malek from Mr. Robot, and he did a really good job in that audio, and it's on a podcast. But you get the story. That's not where I'm really trying to go from. I'm really talking more about shows like the Joe Rogan podcast, and there's a few others out there I can basically come off top of my head. Orange Lounge Radio, a Cheap Ass Gamer. I grew up listening to podcasts when I was trying to go to school, when I was starting my first year at work. Podcasts were like the biggest thing on my big bulky ClickPad iPod. But but I think that I want to be able to talk to people about email marketing, because what you could do, you could just talk about your ideas, what you learned this week, what videos you're watching, what YouTube what audio books are you listening to, what do you eat, what are some of the things you overcame, what some of the problems you overcame, and then you kind of like connect it to your podcast. And so that basically means that my podcast, for example, will continue to evolve. I don't want to go over, a half an hour. I feel like I need to value people's time, and being able to value people's time really is as a skill, because you don't want to be rambling on and the person doesn't misses out on the last half because you didn't really connect with them long enough, so they didn't pay attention. So basically with that, I'm gonna take another break before we move over to the next link, which is we're gonna just talk about some of the podcasts that I listened to in the recent weeks, and I really wanted to basically share. All right. So basically, I have a few things I wanted to go over. Let me go ahead and grab my notes so I can kind of talk about them. All right. So basically, the last week I was trying to talk about how I was going to approach, building this, I guess, this brand, or I don't know, business I'm trying to basically put together. I'm trying to, I like, if people don't really remember, I kind of been working with web development, software development, primarily with web browsers, and converting them into like iOS apps using like Cordova and stuff like that for a while, maybe a little bit over 6-7 years now. The strategy of making the money for the projects is pretty much like working on a contract basis, and I'm trying to find ways to alter that and figure out there's like maybe a way to provide smaller products and services for people who are like interested in having their own personal application, or maybe getting somebody to work with me on a product. But it takes a lot of work. You have to get people's attention. All right. So let me see. I think that what I'll do is I will probably start off with just with that. It's working within email marketing is one thing I want to basically do. All the people who are interested in listening to my podcast and talk to me about different things that are interesting them, we can find a way to collaborate on, helping you get through some sort of problem. That's something that you probably wouldn't be able to get done on your own. It's not anything you're going to be, paying for. It's all like just free services. But what we do is that we share that information with everybody. So everybody may be able to get in and listen to it and see if they can benefit from this particular service. So, for instance, I've been talking a lot about a lot of people are a little bit afraid of putting their information on the web. And putting your information on the web, people feel like their pictures online or their information online, somebody's going to come out and get you. And that's far from the truth. There's I think this is 7.5, billion people, in the world. And we have to understand that because there's 7.5 billion people in the world, that, everybody has access to this information and they can communicate with each other. And it's just that everybody is trying to find a way to, provide value and make money and earn a living. So those are going to be the people that you're going to want to connect with. You're already doing it already. We're already doing it using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, email, even at work, our families, we all work together. So what you're doing is that with, software development, you try to emulate those same systems online, utilizing, patterns of development that are secure and are convenient and are easier to emulate with a little bit of problems that may occur, by doing something like an email marketing system. So I go out to people who I trust, email, and people who I know, personally, or I've talked to online for a while, and we get their email. They listen in, they see what they like. They talk about the things like I work on building a product that suits them, and then hopefully that if it suits them, we can find other like-minded people who that may also suit. This way, like if anything doesn't go well, you would know it's only hurting a certain few people, and you can always work with those people to get those things resolved. All right, so yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and just take a quick break to just make sure I can grab all my notes, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. And we're going to basically be talking about Plex. And what is Plex, right? So, I mean, like, what do you basically know about it? So, Plex is a streaming service that allows you to stream your favorite movies, TV, music, web shows, podcasts, and more, all streamed to your favorite screens. Your screens could be PS4, PC, iOS, Android, your tablet. If Plex has an application available from the marketplace that you're using it from, you could definitely download it. This really allows you the power to target an audience that you want specifically, and do not have to utilize like YouTube or Vimeo, to go ahead and to work with other people. You can even have it where you can provide like a unique set of, like, maybe if you're interested in kung fu movies, from just for example, and like you like old school kung fu movies, well, you can go ahead and invest in a whole bunch of kung fu movies, and then maybe have a podcast on YouTube where you talk about your favorite kung fu movies, the top kung fu movies, and then people who join your membership gets opportunity to watch this for free if they subscribe to your channel. You need it. So that's just kind of like an idea what you can do to increase your revenue. So people are not necessarily buying, because it's copyright infringing if you go ahead and you use if you go ahead and like you selling, like the streaming service, to somebody else, but you don't have to do that. All you have to do is just sell this particular service, and people can like be able to subscribe to your channel if they wanted to, utilizing these links, these subscription links that you can individually give people links. So you can say, okay, these people will get this link, will be available for 30 days. This person will get a link that's available for a week, or these people can only look at these shows, and the list goes on and on and on. I really do like it. I mean, looking at Twitter, somebody says that Plex, I love being able to listen to my music. And a quick shout out to Plex, which was a cutting the cord. It's really sweet for them. Well, it's changing on the fly. I can't really read it, so I'm looking at the site right now. So basically, Plex brings all together your media that matters to you. So anywhere in the globe, if you're living and you're like you want to be able to watch your movies, you could have your computer running in your house, and basically, as long as you have access, as long as the computer's on, you download the software to the PC, and then the PC will allow you to connect to the Plex account, and then you can kind of watch the movies, relatively, decently without having too much issues. I mean, I don't know the limitations of it yet, but I have used it in the past and was able to, watch some movies on the train, while everything was all in the same, country. I don't know if you live in another country, you might not want to be able to do that. But if you're interested, I might want to do that. For instance, let's say I want to start streaming my podcasts and stuff like that from my computer and not putting online just yet. I can do that. So if I had like a personal photos I wanted to kind of share with my family, but I didn't want my family to actually like, I didn't want to put it on Facebook. I was afraid of Facebook. I was afraid of Instagram. I could do that on here. So that's kind of like why I like looking at these things. And you can utilize all types of Sonos, iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, your laptop. This goes on and on and on. You pay like a lifetime fee, and then that's it. You can use it anywhere. I really, really love this thing. I think that a lot of people just don't know too much about it. But and there's also some cool geeky things you can do with it using like developer tools, where you can create your own like interface that will basically allow you to give people more of a unique experience relative to YouTube or Hulu or whatever the case may be. And one of the things that I like about those things is that it gives people an opportunity choice. People always want to have more. There's some movies that don't show up on Netflix or Hulu, for example. For me, I'm a big fan of watching like what are you calling it? Those like those super sci-fi movies like Gravity and Star Wars. I'm a big fan of Interstellar. And usually you don't watch these things in like 4K, but you can't watch them all the time in on like Hulu or something, because they may charge you for per video, right? So if you buy the movie and then you can rip the video and put it on your computer, then you can always watch it from your computer. And then as long as you own the copy, you can actually send it back to you and forth to your house. So what thing is great about it? If you have a family and everybody has an iPhone, you can utilize this service to kind of provide the service to all types of people. So this goes on and on and on and on. I really do like it. There's a lot of problems that might arise, mainly because a lot of people don't know how to, keep up with, a lot of the services. But I'm looking to kind of, break that through. If you're interested in that, hit me up, an email, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll go ahead and try to like give that connection to you. So yeah, that's basically with that. Let me see. I'm looking at another thing. Okay, next thing is VPN. And I think that, it's 5 minutes. We're going to take a little break. And I like to break these things down into these small segments. And then when we get back, we'll talk about VPN. All right, so I'm back now. We're going to be talking a little bit more about VPN and what VPN is and why we should use them. All right, so first off, I don't know, for everybody who may not know what a VPN is, why don't I just go ahead and just talk a little bit more about VPN, right? So let me just go bring up the VPN wiki. And I'll just talk a little bit about it. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. It's a way where you are allowed to, well, I'll talk about let me give the standard Wikipedia first. So VPN redirects to extending a private network across a public network and enables users to send and receive data across shared or public networks as if their computing devices were directly connected to the private network. So what does that basically mean? Let's say you have an application and you're running on a computing device like a laptop, right? And then you went ahead and you wanted to basically achieve the same benefit of having the functionality or security or management of that private network. Yeah, you would basically have something called an encryption. Basically, it kind of like takes the data that you have, chops up in little bits of pieces, and then basically scrambles them in a mathematical formula that allows the person or persons to be able to only be able to get it if they have access to that key that's coming from that VPN or that service. If, for example, at work, I use a VPN when I am remote. If I'm at home, in order for me to connect to the company servers, you use a VPN to connect to there, and their information is basically secure from anybody in the intermediary. I mean, basically anybody that, if you're going from house A to house B, point A to point B, anywhere between point A and point B, your information is secure. So they basically encrypt your stuff before it goes, and when it arrives at your computer, it decrypts it. And this particular service is also available when you are using your own computer or your own phone. A lot of people are afraid that their service can get hacked, right? And that's where things like NordVPN actually comes into play. NordVPN is a type of VPN service which allows the user to subscribe to a certain type of service that allows you to download this app, and you can basically get a VPN to subscribe to a several different servers that NordVPN, the company, has all over the world. And it gives you opportunity to, one, let's say if you're using, you are in a certain country and you want to be able to kind of have access to all of your home countries videos, or maybe you like looking at YouTube videos or recommendations that are based on your home country, you can go ahead and utilize a VPN. Now, NordVPN is a new one I'm basically using. Before I used something called hide my ass. No pun intended. That's actually the name of the company, HMA, and it was really great. But I checked out NordVPN because I'm always about trying new things. And they have a good deal right now. I think I paid like $60 for the year, and you can download the VPN services to your cell phone, to your computer. And if you're like me, who you can also get deals on like cheaper tickets, because the way the ticketing system works is like if you are living in one country, and like I said, you're living in New York and you want to fly to Japan. That's one thing. I was going to fly to Japan. The tickets from flying to Japan to from New York to Japan will cost, I don't know, like let's say $1,200. But but like if the same person, let's say if a person wants to find the same flight and lived in like England, they'll give that person a discount because they're flying on the same airline, but they're going to use like another plane to come from England to New York and then transfer over there. So you might get like $400 difference for that. So they might only pay $800 for that same flight. So what you would do is that you change your VPN and you log into the site, and then you're able to get these discounts. That's just something right now. Hypothetically, I've done enough for Japan, but I think I was flying down like somewhere in Asia, and I got a ticket. Honestly, I'm not even kidding, $400, because the tickets was actually like $680, and they were trying to. I was just checking the VPN all over the country, all over, and like they do that. They want to get the same price for the tickets there, but they'll give other people discounts if they're from other countries coming in, and normally they give it to you for England. So that's just a little tip for you right there. I'm not being, what do you call it again? They're not giving me any sponsorship or anything like that. But, if they did, it'd be fine, but they're not listening. We're nowhere near there right now. But they have looking at their plans right now, they have a 3-year plan, which is $3.49 per month, or you pay $4.99 for a 2-year plan. 1-year plan is $6.99, and then 1-month plan is $11.95. I definitely always try to tell people to, just pay for the like the full year plan. So you get like 1-year plan here, $6.99 a month. You're actually paying $83.83. I think that's how much I paid, and you get a whole year's plan, and I get to hook up almost 6 devices at the same time, and you get $30-day money back guarantee. There's no logs policy, meaning that they don't have to log anything, and you can access over 5,000 servers worldwide. You can try out other websites, PCMagazine.com, editor's choice, like NordVPN. But that's basically it. So we have today is the VPN, hooking that up to your computer, and Plex, basically setting up a Plex server so you can kind of have your own personal videos, movies, music allowed on your computer. And then you can also use that to share a link that people will also have access to this safely and securely to your computer. And if anything ever like arose and you needed to like take your server off, all you need to do is just turn your computer off. And there's another way that I can show you how you can log into your computer remotely, utilizing a remote desktop system that's relatively cheap if you utilize the right services. And you can be able to log in to your computer and turn it off, restart it, and manage it all from your computer. So that might be for another video, but I think that's it for today. Thank you for listening. I hope that this was informative to you. And in the next episode, based on some people's talks and wherever people made some feedback, maybe I'll go a little bit longer. I might be having a guest that's going to talk a little bit more about technology and what they've done in the past. I'm not sure when. I'm still working on those things. But if you would like to be a guest on the show and talk about yourself, send me an email at Chris K. Samuel Jr. at gmail.com. So take care. Be well.